Floor is definitely my favorite just because, you know, when you get to floor at a competition, you have this energy boost that you don't have in practice. So like your passes will be higher, you know, your landings will be better, but you just feel more energetic on that event. So honestly, I like my whole floor routine. I just like love going through each pass. I feel like the crowd though likes my flare sequence the most. That's after my fourth pass, but you know, there's nothing like sticking a floor dismount. Like that's probably the greatest feeling out of all the events to stick.
So the energy of the floor is the thing you love more than anything about that.
Yeah, and the floor is just fun to go. It's like, if you want to go hard on an event, you can go hard on the floor. Pommel horse is definitely the most nerve-wracking event. It's almost like the women's beat. You never know how it's going to go. And my favorite part of horse is probably the dismount, because that's when you know that you just finished a routine.
But it was Yul Moldauer winning the rings title for the second consecutive week, a 14.650.
My favorite part about rings is the strength positions. Rings is honestly probably the easiest event to compete on. You don't really get stressed. All you have to do is we say get strong and just squeeze. So. Before I came to OU, I could do a cross. I could kind of do a Maltese, but when I came here, they had this conditioning program that just got me so much stronger. And now, now our team has 2 Malteses, 2 crosses. So, this place really does get you stronger. My favorite skill on this event is my dismount. It's a triple double. So you're doing a double flip with 3 spins, and it's actually the hardest dismount in the world. And it's pretty scary sometimes, just because at the end of the routine you can be tired. But when you feel like you're tapping and you're in the air, it's just like it almost feels like you're floating or levitating.
How about a 15-0 for Yul Moldauer, highest score in the country on parallel bars this year?
P-bars is actually probably one of my best events. My favorite skill is the giant diam. So there's a support skill called a diam, and then after that I do a giant diam. And it's when you go on a long hang and you come up through the bottom and go spin on one arm. And not a lot of people do that skill, so it almost feels like unique when you see them. And I always think that skill looks the coolest too, so I just like enjoying that one. But yours is definitely probably my best event. It's not the hardest skill, but it's just very technical. So you have to have a good giant, you have to have a good grip, and you just have to stay tight. So when you see me, I'm short, so it's easier for me because I can bend my legs and not hit the mats.
Why do you think you've been able over all these years to not only do great gymnastics, but really incorporate those tougher skills and build those into what you're doing?
I don't know, honestly. It's just it's the coaching staff, it's my teammates always pushing me. So when you have a good support system and a good staff system, any way they can help you to get those skills, they're going to do it. So like, if I want to learn a new skill, they're going to slide in a mat, or they're going to spot me, or they're going to tell me, baby steps to learn it. So like a Helion P-bars I learned this year. And of course I just didn't start on P-bars, I did go on the floor, work handstands, and then I stacked mats. And then once they were going to the mats, then I went to the P-bars. So it's just the way they help you get to that point. Actually, every year I write skills down. And then I write my goals down, and I put it where I can see it every day.
How many have you checked off this year?
Well, the main ones was the American Cup, and then the next ones are make the world team again. I made the national team, so I checked that off, and then I have one for NCAAs and conference, so still more to come.